the next thing we need to deal with would be in terms of, even though the BRICS nations are the drivers of the New World Order, what have been the effects on specific groups of people?
Then you can talk about each of your countries that you're looking at.
Okay. So, well, I've been looking at India, and as Zakaria says, actually, so India's GDP is 50% services, 25% industry, and 25% agriculture. So I'd assume that means that really the groups of people in India, for the record, we've been researching history, not so much modern day stuff, but I'm assuming that India today is somewhat of a portrait of lots of people in the service industry, maybe with their own businesses. Perhaps you're the entrepreneur of a salon in New Delhi, and that's your income. So you're in the service industry. But then, so that's the majority of the people. And then there are also the remainder of the people are divided between you're an agricultural worker in the same boat that we were talking about just now, with your idea like the farming would be more highly valued than education, especially higher education. The idea of doing good for more people by working the land is better than getting a college degree. And then you have the service or the industry, like industrial workers who it's like a day laborer. They're lower middle class probably, and I would see them benefiting the most, like personally, if I was in a situation where my primary income in my family came from a father who was working in a plant, and then my mother probably took on some work for additional income, then I'd probably want my children to be educated, and so I would say they would be the ones who need the education reforms the most, whereas agriculture would want infrastructure reform, and the service industry probably again looking to education reform, but also a little bit of infrastructure, a little bit of a hybrid. I'd say on the whole it probably leans toward infrastructure before education.
That's how it changes the individual people?
Yeah, that's the specific groups of people in the BRICS nations. Like that's what they're looking like. Specifically with India, that's what they're looking